What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got another edition of The Drive-In, where I watch recently released horror films and tell you guys whether they're worth watching, worth waiting for, or worth skipping altogether. And today is one of the best days on this channel because I'm doing something that I really love and enjoy doing, and that is spreading joy and love and awareness to the indie film community. I love indie horror. There's so much good stuff going on around here. And today I had the chance to watch and review an indie horror film by the name of Body Count that is making the rounds right now. It's getting the journalism circuit. It's been going around at conventions, doing a bunch of festival things, getting awards all over the place. And I got the chance to review it. I want to apologize because outside my window right now there is some ridiculous construction or something with a big giant truck making a lot of noise. But that's not going to stop me from bringing you guys my review of the indie horror film Body Count. And this is a horror anthology surrounding the character of Malvolia. If you've not seen Malvolia, Queen of Screams, go check out her YouTube, acted by the talented Jenn Nangle. And this is Jenn Nangle's kind of feature film where there are, let me see, 6 overall stories, 5 kind of short anthology films inside one big wrapper. So 6 stories total wrapper and 5 anthology films. And this anthology features stories written by Ron Purdy, Eric Lawson, Charles Chutabala, Christine Twyman, and Jenn Nangle, and directed segments by Richard Trejo, Hunter Johnson, Alex T. Huang, and Jenn Nangle herself. And this is starring Jenn and a whole cast of others that I sadly could not write down all of the actors and all of the 6 different kind of segments of this movie. But it runs an hour and 40 total, and that's including credits. And overall, I had a really good time watching this. I really enjoy an indie horror, like I said, and there are a lot of positives. So I'm just going to dive right into some things that I enjoyed first about this movie. First positive I have written down here is homegrown AHS feel. This felt like American Horror Story in a lot of ways, where you kind of, you're going to get an indie, you're going to get a lot of people that are, doing it for the love of the art. You're going to be getting a lot of hardcore horror fans that are going to be acting in these movies, and you get all of these actors playing different characters in each of the skits. I saw some of the same faces in each of them, playing different characters. Jenn, of course, got a chance to be in all of them, and I think that's really cool because you get a diversity of acting range. You get a chance to see what the actors can do, not just playing one main character, but featuring in 6 different roles. So you get this big diversity of each actor kind of showing off their chops in different situations. You might get one role that's, you're the lead villain and you're maniacal, and you get another role where you're the final girl, and another one where you're a business person, another one where you're a demon. So you got this variance of roles where all of the cast gets a chance to kind of show off their acting range in different ways. And, you're seeing the same actors in different characters, much like, American Horror Story and stuff like that. So I love the homegrown feel of this. This represents the fact that it's an independent film very well. They kind of enjoy what they're doing, and you get the feel that the whole cast and crew kind of get along, and they've got their own styles, and they're each bringing their own kind of ingredient into this stew, so to speak, and you can tell they're enjoying doing it. When someone is doing something they love, you can really feel it on screen, and that comes across here well. Something else I really enjoyed is variants of stories. Much like the actors got a chance to play a variance of characters and bounce around and do different things, the stories also did that. So you get all kind of different stories, a lot of which are classic horror tropes. I myself, as a creator, a writer and director, I always kind of want to find a cool way to put my own spin on some of the classic things I grew up watching. It's like some of the classic subgenres of horror. And Jenn and others here got a chance to do that all in one movie. You get a chance to do 6 different stories. So you're playing all of these classic, kind of covering these classic stories, and you're getting to do it all at once. So you get, a werewolf story, and you get a vampire story, and you get a rape revenge story, and you get kind of a cult story. You get all of these different stories wrapped into one. So there's something for everyone. If you don't like one story, there's something else for you in there. And if you like the classic tropes of horror that kind of raised us from the, the 20s and 30s all the way into now, you get that. I mean, you get slashers, you get psychological, you get some dark characters, you get some revenge plots, you get some really cool stuff all wrapped up in this nice little bow. So there's something for everyone in there. And if you're a fan of classic horror, the stories give you a nice wide variance of things to watch. Next thing I have here is gore. I really enjoyed the gore. You can tell there were some budgetary restrictions, obviously, in indie horror, as there always are, but I think the effects artists all did a really nice job in not only kind of using a lot of blood and showcasing it in a good way, but also the camera did a good job of lingering on that gore. You saw some long shots where they didn't shy away from showing what they created. They took some time to make this really bloody and reveled in that blood, which is something that makes movies like Terrifier popular today. They don't just cut away, or they don't just go, okay, we don't have a ton of money, or we can't make this look like a Hollywood production, so we're just not going to show it. They go back and show it. There's even an in-joke at one point where a killer kills somebody off screen, and one of the characters goes, no, you got to do it on screen, can't do it off screen. So I really enjoyed the meta aspect of that, and the meta aspect of this in general is really fun, because there are some dark moments that then a character kind of cracks a good one-liner, but not in such a way that takes you out of it. It's kind of in a way that makes fun of themselves, or makes fun of the story, or makes fun of something while still being in the moment. So you get a lot of meta in-jokes, which I really enjoyed there as well. Since we're on the subject of gore and how I enjoyed everything lingering, I think the gore also impacted the characters. There were certain moments where a character would start getting covered in blood, and you would see them kind of, if they're a more innocent character, they would get really skittish and kind of back away and go, oh my god, I've taken this too far. Or you would get a character that was maniacal, and when they started to see blood and feel blood on them, they would get darker and more mean and more evil-spirited. So I really enjoyed the effect the blood had on the characters. Favorite kill, since we're on gore, I love the Our Father kill. I'm not spoiling anything. There's no spoilers in this review, but there's one kill in particular where one of the characters is reciting the Our Father and just killing somebody, bashing somebody over and over again with the Our Father, which suits the character they're killing, which made me audibly laugh out loud. As someone who grew up Catholic saying the Our Father a lot, I was laughing pretty hard at the Our Father kill, so check that one out if you get the chance. Also really enjoyed the score. Score is something that indie films can do well, and this one did. Especially in particular, there were a few moments of tension around the kills when things start ratcheting up that I really enjoyed the score of, and I also especially enjoyed the opening and closing themes. And there was a bunch of different score artists on this, I believe, a team, but I really enjoyed kind of how they used the score to make it a character of the movie. When things were starting to go down, you could feel the score kind of tensing up, and they had some really catchy intro and outro music. I found myself bobbing my head and being really immersed in it, which was nice. Favorite story? I want to say the rape revenge story. Again, I'm not spoiling anything, but there is kind of a rape revenge story that kind of harkens back to a bit less gory, or a bit less kind of macabre version of I Spit on Your Grave, or Revenge in Modern Times, kind of things like that. Hills Have Eyes. There are some moments that have some you see a character doing something evil, but for a kind of a justified reason, or the story almost kind of justifies or sympathizes you with the characters, that when the kills are happening, it doesn't feel like it's as mean-spirited. So I really enjoy the rape revenge story in this one in particular. Just to get into a few quick negatives here, just to be fair and balanced, and just talk about everything. And again, I always kind of come from a place of knowing that it's an indie film, and so we're not going to judge this against some $100 million budget movie. I would say there was an acting spectrum in this movie. Overall, you had a lot of actors. You had a big cast because you had 6 different stories, and there's a wide range of acting. You get some really seasoned actors who you can tell have done a ton of horror, and they really get a chance to shine. I mean, I think Jenn in particular. I don't want to just call out Jenn because I know her work as being really, really good, so I don't want to just spotlight one person. But I think that Jenn in general does a really good job in vacillating between the over-the-top kind of TV horror host Malvolia character and some of the more grounded characters she plays in the movie. And then, of course, when there are turns and she has to get evil, she can get evil as well. So it really is a good showcase for her, and that's not minimizing anybody else. I think a lot of the actors did a really nice job in this, but again, you get a good spectrum where there are some moments of really, really intense acting, or a good monologue, or something eye-to-eye contact where there's really heartfelt moments. And then there's some actors that you can tell are a little less seasoned. I don't feel like maybe their facial expressions or their delivery has enough tension or fear in the moment of what they're going through, and it can take you out of moments a little bit. But you're going to get that with indie casts, especially big giant casts, when there's so much going on and moving parts that are trying to fit into the story, then you can't always get everything you want out of every single person. But I think overall the efforts are really good, and there's a lot of shining moments in the acting. The audio varies as well. There was a couple of times where the audio took me out of little moments. There was one scene in particular, I think it was the vampire one, where they were just in this giant warehouse, and it was just impossible to control the echo. So everything was kind of bouncing off the walls and echoing and kind of going up. So you couldn't really get a lot of the audio, which the story was really good. I was enjoying the story. And I really, in particular, in that one, loved the costuming. I think in general, the costuming shines in this, but that in the vampire skin in particular, I thought the costuming and kind of the character's posture was really good. But some of the audio got lost to me just because of the giant warehouse. And that's going to happen again. Whenever you're shooting, whether you're laved or likely boom mic'd, you're just going to get some really echoey audio. And good audio is the hardest thing to find in indie film. I can speak from experience. Some of my films don't have the best audio in spite of all of our talented best efforts. So the audio can vary in this a little bit. And then I have pacing as a positive/negative. I thought the pacing in general, this runs 1 hour and 40, which is longer than some indies go. I thought in general the pacing was really good, and I enjoyed it, and it kept my attention even throughout all the different skits. Even the ones that were longer, I thought were good and well done and well paced. But I do think in a couple of instances, there's one particular slasher that I really enjoyed, but I feel like it's just set up, and then it just real quick, kill. It just goes from one kill right to the next. I think maybe this happened like twice, where it was like spent some time setting it up, and you kind of got a lot of back end time setting it up, and then all of a sudden the kills just go one after the other with no in between time, and that kind of makes you have to leap in logic, because the killer is killing the characters. Hard to say. Back to back, and you're like, well, that just happened all in 20 seconds. That was really quick. So I think at certain points, the pacing gets a little skewed because they're trying to fit so much story into one thing, and that's a positive, but sometimes the pacing can be a little skewed. But overall, I want to say I really, really enjoyed this. I thought the acting by and large was good. I thought the camera work by and large was good. I thought the gore and the score and all the fun things you look for in indie horror are good. There's a variance of actors, there's a variance of stories, and I think in general, you're going to have a good time with Body Count. You get the Malvolia character, if you know and love her, as your beloved horror host surrounding this really fun rapper, and then you get a bunch of different stories that have a bunch of the classic horror tropes in a modern day take, a gory, fun, fast-paced take on some of the different classic tropes in the horror genre. So I would recommend checking out Body Count. Like I said, it's currently making the rounds in festivals right now, winning a bunch of awards, so there's a lot of hype around it. If you get a chance at one of the festivals, if it comes to your town, I would recommend going to check it out. Jen's been doing the convention circuit, so if you get a chance to see Jenn in person, maybe get a physical copy of the movie or something like that. I don't know if she has those out yet, but it should be coming out soon, so stay in touch with her. If you see her at a convention, buy some merch off of her. Also, if you run a podcast or a journalism site or something like that, you can probably reach out to Jenn Nangle on social media if you are friends with her. Please be respectful and don't harass, but if you can reach out to her, I'm sure she would appreciate the extra coverage as well. And I think it's worth it because Body Count is a good time. So I endorse this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if there's any other indie horror films you would like me to check out and review and give some thorough thoughts on, please tell me in the comments down below. Recommend some things I should check out and review on this channel going forward in the future. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like these kind of videos, and I will see you guys soon. Stay scared and take care.